to the ground, and all that's left of my house is lawn. The crowds are gone. And it's time to wash out the blonde.
Good morning, people. How are we going? Listening to a bit of Eminem song. It's quite fitting for this live stream.
Who has doubt, remind. Now take your best rhyme. I'll do it. Now do it 1,000 times.
Hope everyone. Evangelina, how are you, sister? All the way from Bacchus Marsh, if I'm correct. See, I've got a good memory, haven't I? So, it is a beautiful day here in Melbourne. I think it's a beautiful day across the country. The sun's out, I think, brings out the best in people. It's beautiful. So we're off to Seymour for Jerboa. Obviously, my beautiful partner's sister's, I was going to say, it's your niece. It's your sister's daughter's first birthday. I was supposed to dress up as a unicorn, but I'm going to come as an ogre or Shrek. Some people I say that I pull that off all the time. So awesome stuff. So my motivation to hold this live stream or live interaction, I've shared some of my story, and the reason why I'm doing this today on a Sunday session, because obviously most people have got a little bit of time on their hands. Some people could be around people, some people could be alone, and this is a message of strength. This is a message of truth. And if anyone can relate to this, if you've been through some hard times, some dark times, if anyone's been there, Ante, my brother, kako si dobro, how are you? Good to have you on, man. Loving the support. Just landed in Melbourne. Oh, you're back in Melbourne. Let's catch up. We'll definitely have to catch up. I want to start talking about that Bitcoin stuff, and yeah, that would be fantastic. Let me know. Send me an inbox. So what I want to talk about, that there's a lot of people out there, there's a lot of psychologists that have never been suicidal, that have never been in that dark time of pain when you just want to end your life because you think that you're just staring death in the face, or you don't know how to control your emotions. You just feel like you're around the wrong people, and there's abuse, there's anger, there's negativity, there's darkness, there's all that stuff that I didn't have around me, but I was creating it. Yeah. So why I want to hold this, because it's very applicable to, you want to teach people about, give them the answer, but more importantly, how can they make the change. And as you all know, we've got our retreat happening in Bali on the 6th of December to the 11th, and then we've got another one either on January or February. But why I want to talk to you about this is that I see a lot of people walking around. I speak to a lot of people. Hey, Kat, how are you, sister? Good morning, Lee Bundy Bear, and the beautiful people. Yes, I was going to say happy birthday, happy amazing day. It is a happy birthday to everyone. Every day should be a birthday. I'm just getting used to because it's what's your niece's name? Madison. So beautiful little Madison, and hopefully I don't scare her, because I've got my khaki green on, and I do look like the Shrek. So I just want everyone to be able to relate to this in a way. Look, if you haven't been in those dark times, if you haven't been suicidal, if you haven't, whatever, we all get down, we all have some challenges in our life and whatnot. But I want to share something that I haven't really gone into so much detail with before, because we all know when things don't seem to be working out for us, because they are working out, but we're just in the wrong frame of mind, or that we keep doing the wrong thing over again, and we just, it's a downward spiral, and people say depression, people say bipolar. But what it actually is one after one after one, just a negative thought. A negative thought leads to a negative feeling leads to a negative belief, and then a negative action. And that's the real scary thing about where people go on, and what really happens to people when they get down, when people have tried to either take tablets or slit their wrist or gas themselves or do something stupid to take their life. And it doesn't need to be that way. The reason why I say this, because 8 years ago, when I was sitting in my room at my parents' place, after I broke up with my first fiance, and it was me. It didn't have to be that way. I didn't have to keep thinking about every possible dark thing, and oh my God, I'm never going to be with a woman again. Oh my God, I've lost all this money. Oh my God, what should I do? And life's not good, and I'm no good. I've got nothing to give. And that was my thought patterns and my feelings 24/7. But it just kept getting worse and worse, and then, you know, you'd get aggressive, and then especially when people aren't there, I used to watch videos or DVDs, and I would watch the movie, and I would just numb myself with Stilnox, which is a sleeping tablet. It's the one that apparently killed Heath Ledger. And I used to just be watching this movie, but I wasn't present. It's like how most people walk around, they're like, and then when the movie would finish, I would have a panic attack. The movie would finish, and I'm, oh, what am I supposed to do now? And I would jump out of bed, and, you know, it would be a beautiful day like this, but I would be in my bedroom. You know, my parents have got a beautiful house. You know, it's a big bedroom, it's a big plasma screen, and I don't think it was a dungeon, but I made it to be a dungeon, you know what I mean? And I was sitting there by myself, and there was magic all around me. I've got my beautiful parents and my, you know, my aunties and uncles, but I took all that away because what was going on in my head, I just didn't see and believe and feel that I wanted to do anything in my life. And it was just, I was grasping onto every negativity, every bit of anger, every bit of, you know, just it was such a toxic mindset. And what I haven't shared before is that I would wake up crying. Well, I would wake up crying. Like, honestly, you know, when people wake up and they're, oh, what a beautiful day it is. I used to wake up crying because I had to face the whole day. And do you know what I mean? I'm living. And how bad is that? How bad is that when you wake up and you're crying, that everything just seems the same? And I was actually sad that I was still living. Yeah? And even saying that, it makes me a bit sick in the stomach. Not a bit, it actually does. Because it doesn't matter how much work I've done, even talking about it, half of me saying, did that really happen? But the other half of me saying, yeah, it did. And do you remember that? Yeah? And when I used to wake up crying, because the thing what happens is, you guys have seen a lot of me in my time when I've obviously done a lot of work on myself. I'm living this great life now. Katrina goes, were you having bad dreams also? Yeah, very, very bad dreams. I would knock myself out by even having scotch or alcohol or red wine with sleeping tablets, because I just wanted to sleep. In the middle of the night, I'd get up in the middle of the night. It was just really, you know, just a really ecstatic, or really like I didn't know. It was like someone shook me, and in the middle of the night, I was like, what's going on? And I remember I have to wake my parents up, and then my mum would go, come on, let's go for a walk, because I'll just have, you know, anxiety and a panic attack. And, you know, I've shared my story, but the reason why I'm going to go detailed with this, not for pity, because I know a lot of people can relate to it, and then I'm going to teach you how I got out of it. And I would honestly be, you know, how old was I? 29, 30 years old, a grown man that used to have his own house, that used to have his own everything, and then I'm sitting there crying, like sitting like a little boy on my mum's lap. I'm 6'2.5", and my mum's 5'5" or 5'4", and you know, and it was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm a man. I'm not. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not this little boy anymore. So while I was getting up in the morning and I was crying, and throughout the day, it was just, when you're thinking about a negative, you're programming that shit. You're building a house. So every time you think of a negative thought, it's a brick. And another negative thought, it's a brick. Before you know it, you've got this fucking castle of negativity. You've got this castle of pain. You've got this castle of that you feel like you're a failure. You've got this castle of, it just gets too much. And I remember that, you know, someone would say something and I would just fucking lose my shit and break things, break chairs, throw things, not actually hurt people, but to a point where my poor dad was that scared of me and scared for me that he had the police firstly, sorry, not the police, he did have them come, but he had the ambulance come to sedate me. And they wanted to treat me, and they were saying, oh, look, mate, yeah, you better have this because your blood pressure. And it was, they wanted to sedate me, but I knew what it was. I've seen it before. So here I am feeling like a fucking wild animal. You know, my parents are just saying, because what would happen as well, that when I'd go on these rampages, I would get into the car, I wouldn't know where I went. And one of the times I got into my dad's car and I smashed it, and, you know, I'm lucky to be here. Or I would drive, I would pass out somewhere and I didn't even know where I went, or I didn't even know where I was. And I didn't have my phone on me, I didn't know how to use my phone because I was that delusional. And you know what, people, it was such a dark time, and I never ever thought I would be able to get myself out of it. So the big message of this is, it doesn't matter how dark and how bad you feel like you've just lost yourself, or or what's happened to you in your life, there's always a way out of it. Yeah, there is always a way out of it. You don't need to start tomorrow, you can start now. And the way you start now is making sure that you're in the right environment to remember that you deserve to be better. I'm just going to park over here so we can have a chat, because I know Jaboa's going to get something for her little niece. So just bear with me for a moment. Park over here. Is that all good if I park here? Actually, I'll park here. All right. So now we can get all comfortable. You're good. So, I know a lot of people have been through big things, small things, so on and so forth. I know a lot of people have been through abuse. I know a lot of people have been through so many different thoughts that are, that really take us away from our greatness, that really, they start to occupy us so much that, just give me a sec, let me get rid of that. And what I want to share with you, hey Catherine, how are you, sister? And Karen, how are you? I want to talk about when you feel you're alone, when you're in those dark times, when you wanted to take your life, when you're just getting there, and the thing is, you are getting distracted by your own pain. You're getting distracted, as I used to call it, the devil. Yeah, and I used to sit there upon hours, and my mum and dad would come and talk to me, and they would shake me up, and they would say, Lee, come on mate, come outside and do this, and they used to buy things for me. And at this stage I wasn't working because I wasn't mentally safe to work. I wasn't mentally, to be honest with you, I shouldn't have been in the public, because I would go into the public, and those people that are just completely switched off. But if someone, hey sister, how are you, Karen? I love it, love, support, greatness. Thank you, sister. And if someone, I remember one time, and I'm not proud of this at all, I'm sitting in the passenger seat like some fucking crazy person, and my mum goes to go in a driveway like that, and another car comes that way, and the guy's beeping the horn, and he goes and he screamed out something, I can't remember, you old bag, what are you doing, rah rah rah. And I didn't even think, I did not even think. I jumped out of the car and ripped this guy out of his car and started punching him until he couldn't move. I don't know why and how I didn't get arrested for it, but he came in and he's going rah rah rah, this and the rest of it. And I remember I jumped out, and this was just stupid. I didn't even think about it. I did not even think about it. And I remember hitting this guy until he can't, and I had to get my mum had to pull me off this guy. Let me have a look. Hey, from New Zealand, I just want to say I've just gotten out of a similar situation, and within the last 2 weeks I saw your videos and they've given me so much. Oh, thank you. How do you pronounce your name? Mukara Rose? I really appreciate that. So hopefully this, and I know this will give anyone that's been through depression, suicide, anyone, let me close this because the sun is burning my head. Anyone that's been through like similar cases, and I really want to take you to the understanding of when you are sitting there, when you are sitting in that pain, when you are sitting there and you're eating, like some people don't even eat. I remember I would train 3 times a day. I would get up in the morning, do my cardio. During the day I'll do weights, and then at night do some more cardio. Yeah, I'd do kickboxing or something else. And I didn't train for about 3 months, and I would eat and I would eat and I would eat. And I'm normally about 105 kilos. I remember I put on 30 kilos, so I become 130 kilos. And for me to put on that weight, and for my size, and for people to see me actually, like that, I wasn't shaven. I was taking a lot of anxiety tablets. I was taking, I was going to the doctors, and I didn't get addicted to taking sleeping tablets, but I just didn't want to be around, and I had to take Valium to smooth me out because I was that sporadic, and honestly I couldn't, I'd have panic attacks. I remember one day I had a panic attack and my mum came in the room, she goes, what's wrong? And oh cool, we're back. And I was saying I'm almost 6'3", and I bowled my mum over just wanting to get out of the room, because guys, if you've had anxiety, if you've had a panic attack, the you know, you're out of control pretty much, yeah. So as this was going through, and what happened was I got that stuck in my, and I won't say stuck, I put myself there deep down into my thoughts that I stopped speaking. That I remember my beautiful Uncle Tarek, one of my, he's my uncle, and he's my Turkish uncle, and everyone that was there, my mum, my dad. But I remember my uncle coming to me because I've got a very close relationship with him, and I remember him saying, Lee, mate, I'm here. And I had tears just come down my eyes, and I remember this, and this really, it does really bring back some bad, feelings, that I can hear him, but I couldn't respond because I was that far back with all these thoughts, with all these layers, yeah? I was that far back from, just, I could see what was happening, but my internal being, and was calling out, go, I'm here, I can hear you. But my physical structure was just like that, yeah? It was like a zombie. And I had tears coming out my eyes, and it was just almost a car accident. We are in Camberfield. So there was tears coming out my eyes. And I remember I spoke to my uncle about 2 weeks ago. I remember we brought this up, and he goes, mate, oh, that was so hard for me to see. I remember I had to leave. I remember when I saw you like that, he goes, I had to leave because I didn't want to cry in front of you. And, it's really sad that there's a lot of you guys, you can probably relate to this, put a thumbs up if you can. I don't want you to relate to it if you can't, if you can't. But the reason why I'm teaching you this, people, because there's some of you, and I know there's a lot of other people that are still going through this. It might not be as bad, but sometimes it could be even worse. Do you know what I'm saying? But it doesn't need to be that way, because some people don't have the support. Yesterday we did that amazing workshop with my beautiful partner about visionaries. And it was talking about, why do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? And that was so easy. I do what I do because I didn't have the support what I've created. There was no Team Beast Mode International. There was no retreats. There was no, because I went to a lot of these so-called psychologists and retreats and mindset. And I'll tell you what, people, it's a shredder. They put you through, okay, yep, we can't get any more money out of you, and then they spit you out. Do you know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the support. I had the support from my family. I had the support from, all friends. Forget about it. All friends, Lee's a crazy, he's a psycho. All friends just disappeared, yeah? And I didn't have the right support. Yes, my family loved me. Yes, my family wanted to support, but they didn't really know what was going on, and they didn't really know how to make that change. Of obviously changing the mindset, someone that's been through there, they would say things to me which actually got me more aggressive, but they weren't doing it because of that. They were doing it because they wanted to help me, but they didn't know. What they don't know, they don't know. So that's why I'm so passionate about what we're having on in December. We've got the Restart Retreat, yeah? And that's going to give people an understanding of starting next year, starting in December. So if you're someone that is going through this, if you know someone that has gone through this or is going through it or whatever, if that's you, get in contact with us, people, because life is short, and you might think someone is okay from the outside, but if you don't know, and then this happens, and I'll share something with you as well, and I shared this at my last workshop in Melbourne. I was speaking to a mother of a client of mine, and I've been working with this client for 2 years, and then his mother and father, and he's 35, yeah? So his mother and father are saying, Lee, you don't, so-and-so, you don't need to be working with so-and-so anymore. He's okay now. You're just focusing on the problems. He doesn't need to do this anymore, because if you keep talking about it, he's going to be focusing on it. I said, no, he still needs the support. He's up and down. He's on and off. He still needs the support. We're not talking about the problems. We're actually giving him solutions to his challenges right now. And then they said, no, Lee, it's this, it's that. We need to stop. Let's just move away from it. So after 2 weeks, I remember him sending me some messages, and I could see in the messages that these messages weren't right. And then what happened was, after these messages, on the day, Sunday, a few weeks ago when I did the Melbourne retreat, what happened? I get a phone call from his sister that he committed suicide. You know what I mean? I get a phone call from his sister that he committed suicide. So from an opinion, an uneducated opinion from a mother that doesn't know anything with what a child's going through, that says, well, look, this is just me, I'm going to say that he needs to stop what he is doing. But someone like myself that has been through it, that is sharing with you the pain, how I sat there for hours, what was going through my mind. Reading a book doesn't give you this ability to help people. It just polishes the trophy. Doing education doesn't give you the ability to help people that are going through that. It just polishes the trophy. But when you have fucking been there, when you know what someone's going through, when you can look at someone's eyes and see what they're going through, that gives you the ability to help people. Do you know what I'm saying? That gives you the ability. When you see people fucking up and you say, hey, stop doing this, and then they want to question you with their uneducated 30 seconds of thinking they're an expert because they've done one little event, or they've read a couple books, or they put a couple fucking happy clappy Facebook posts, and they think, oh, I'm healed. Are you serious, people? You need to wake the fuck up, because people are dying all around us. You're in pain or not. So we need to start to say, well, oh, it's not too bad now because I can't feel too much pain. But when it does get bad, what are you going to do? When it does get worse, what are you going to do? When there's no one else, are you going to wait then? And that's why I say, and that's why I created this workshop that's going to be in December for Restart Your Life. Because when you're facing the pain, when you're facing the adversity, you're not going to worry about how much money something costs, or you're not going to worry how long it is, because you're going to be looking at that. You're going to be shit fucking scared, and you're going to go, why didn't I do this something yesterday? Why didn't I do something about this fucking 2 weeks ago? And it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. And the reason why I know that, I bless whatever, my dead grandparents, my ancestors, the universe, whatever, that I attempted to take my life 3 times. People say, Lee, you're a strong motherfucker. It takes it, it's like a cat has 9 lives. And I'm blessed. I'm a strong-minded person, physically strong, and I'm a healthy man that I'm still here. But I'm here for a purpose, to tell you people that are lost, in pain, that have been going through this and don't think there's any other way, that don't worry about how much something costs, or how long it's going to be, or if it's for me or it isn't for me. Because guess what? When life and death is basically about to be taken from you, and death is facing you, then you need to do something about it. Or there's other people, that it could be your daughter, could be your brother, could be your friend, could be your husband, could be your wife, that's going through this. And if you don't have the duty of care to share something like this with her, for people that have been through it, because I'll tell you a secret. When I was going through my hard time, my parents spent thousands of dollars on me to go somewhere and get help. And because I didn't value it, because I didn't pay for it, because I didn't want to find the time, find the money, because I was too busy feeling sorry for myself, I went to this doctor and I went to that doctor and I went to all these different fucking mindset, recovery, NLP. But because I didn't pay for it, I didn't value it. I didn't do anything with it. They spent thousands, tens of thousands, 10 grand, 15 grand, 7, 4, 5, on all these different courses, sending me over there, getting hair strains. Oh, but let's take your hair over. When I had hair, let's send it over to Florida and we'll check for the serotonin. We'll check for fucking all the different chemicals. They spent money after money, but because I didn't value shit, I didn't get anything from it. But once I started to get on my feet, once I started to develop myself and actually start to commit to do something about my life, that's only when I knew that I was valuable enough to change, yeah? Not because someone else is paying it for me, not because someone else is doing that for me. And only then, people, I started to value myself. Only then I found the time. I found the love. I found the commitment. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to change. And since that dark time, and I bless it, because what it taught me I had this burning desire. Didn't matter what was going on in my life, I would always find the time to keep growing. I would always find the time to keep moving forward. Like you see me yesterday. Yesterday we're driving from our workshop to a birthday, and I'm rocking out a live stream. Now I'm here in Campbellfield, Kmart. We're about to drive to Seymour, and I'm sharing this with you. And this is embarrassing. Do you know what I mean, people? This is embarrassing. It's not embarrassing to me, but it is to say, well, I was this weak. I was an absolute fruitcake. I was aggressive. attempted to take my life. I was on antidepressants. I was taking a lot of drugs. When I started to get out of it and started to party with the wrong people because I thought that, well, you know what, that's going to be okay. Do you know what I'm saying? Most people would say, and you know, I even know my old marketing and branding coach would say, Lee, you're tarnishing your representation, telling people that you used to be this nutbag. But used to be. But I've gotten through it. No book's going to teach you that. No fucking YouTube channel, no live stream's going to teach you that. What's going to teach you that is being around the person or people that have got themselves through it. And life, guess what? There's still challenges in life now. There's still challenges everywhere. But you need to become bigger than them. You need to become bigger every day. You need to fight hard or train hard to fight easy. So you need to train your mind, train your fucking heart, train you every day. So when there's a fight or when you are ready or when something comes up, you're ready for it. Do you know what I'm saying, people? Just let me move these up. And that's what people don't understand. They go, look, I'm going to take a day off today. I'm not going to show up. I'm going to I'm just going to fucking mow the lawns. Mow the lawns after you've done your mindset. Take the day off after you've done your training. And then, you know, go and party after you've done that because you've already done that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't understand with people. It's really upsetting because there are so many great people and you're all great, but you're really good at fucking your lives up. I was really good at fucking my life up. And I know if I'm taking shortcuts, if I'm not doing things to my best ability, if I'm letting fucking someone distract me, get distracted after you've done the work. Do you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing. It doesn't matter what fucking label you have or how many courses and how many people and whatever, if you're the fucking best mindset coach in the world, you're not the best mindset coach in the world if you haven't been through it. If you have not been through hell and back, yeah, then you're just giving opinions. You're giving judgment. You're just, do you know what I'm saying? And this is the thing what I don't understand, people, that you would prefer to listen to someone that takes pictures with fucking celebrities that has no advice or has no life experience on being there. So this is what I want to share with you. When I locked myself for a year and a half in my room back in Craigieburn in the northern suburbs of Melbourne, and I put on 34 kilos and I was dosing myself up with fucking Stilnox, Xannies, Valium, and I would wake up crying. I would go to bed crying. I would sometimes just pass out in here. We'll wake up and be fucking down instead of breaking chairs, punching holes in rooms, in walls. I remember, and this was the most petrifying time I've ever seen my mother. That because I was that emotionally aggressive, my dad thought I was going to do something and he didn't want me to leave the house. So I remember I had my hoodie on. He actually wears that now. I want to fucking burn the thing. I had a beard. I had my underarm and my hoodie on, and I'm watching the UFC. And that wasn't a good thing. Being like that, watching the UFC, not really cool, yeah? Because you get, you know what I mean? You get fired up. So I remember I hear my dad saying, Marie, because that's my mum's name. What are we going to do with Lee, mate? Like, we just can't. Like, he's going to maybe hurt us, or he's going to hurt himself. And, you know, this is my boy. We have to put him somewhere so he doesn't, you know. And my mum kept saying, he's not a fucking animal, George. He's not an animal. You know, and I've never shared this, and I do get emotional. And I remember that 8 cop cars, because I know there was 8, because I remember I got up and my mum said there was 8 cop cars, and the house was full of police. And you hear, all right, we're